alarms get addressed. But then I want to let Tony speak too, so. Okay.
I agree with Joe. I have a problem, with, first of all, I think that, I'm not saying that we don't need, a false alarm bylaw. I just think that this is too robust. It's a 12-page bylaw, and the fine structure is a little concerning. $15 to get a permit to protect your own home. I have spoken to some people that have an issue with that. You have the deputy chief saying that we don't have enough police officers to respond to calls, so when someone takes the initiative to alarm their own house, they have to pay fines. $30 for not registering. That's another fine that's in this bylaw. The 50, 75, 100 for third, fourth, and fifth false alarm. And then there's a $25 fine if you don't respond when your alarm goes off. So if you're in Florida, Joe, and your alarm goes off, that's going to cost you 25 bucks. Yes. And then there's a fine if you fail to renew your permit, a permit that you may not really want to pay for to begin with. And then if you get your permit revoked, then it's another fine to get your permit back. So I'm not crazy about and it is a fine. Some people think it's a tax, and some people think it's a fee, but I think the fine structure is a little bit too robust. I would be happy to look at some type of a bylaw that's a little bit smaller. You can get this all in a one-paragraph bylaw that gives the chief the authority to say to somebody, your alarm's going off too much. And the other issue I have is I don't really know how big of a problem it is. These repeat alarms, is it 10 alarms that go off 50 times a month, or is it 50 alarms that go off 10 times a month? I haven't seen any empirical data. The other issue that I have is that all of these fines can be appealed to the town manager. And with that said, this is going to take up some of the town manager's time and effort for people that want to appeal anything that happens under the structure. And the other thing that we haven't spoken about is how much are what's the cost in legal bills? Who's going to collect the fines? What's going to happen if people refuse to pay the fines? Are we going to be placing municipal liens on people's property because they didn't want to give you $15 because they didn't think that they should pay to be able to protect their own home? So I see a lot of issues with this. I personally, I'm not saying that there isn't a need for it. I answered a lot of false alarms in my career as well. I just think that the whole bylaw is a little bit too robust, and I'd like to see it shrunk down to what the chief needs to be able to mitigate the problem.
So just the nuisance alarms?
Right.
Just the nuisance, what you're saying, just the nuisance alarms, Jeff?
That's where I'm